Hello there, my friends, and welcome. This is Kate in the Nest, and I've had the most fantastic day, and I'm going to reward myself with a little bit of stitching on my one flower at a time 2 quilt. I shared the introduction of this not so long ago, and this is a piece that continues to bring me joy. So before I show you the work that I've done on it since and keep working, I just thought I'd share the joy of this community. And, when we go thrifting and looking for things, there's so much more than the actual purchase. Because today I was out at Robertson, and I need to do a shout out to Zoe, and who's got a workshop there. But at the workshop, which was a Jennifer Clouston workshop, was the lovely Linda from New York, and she had come specifically. She's going around Australia at the moment, but she wanted to check out the Green Door Studios, and it was lovely to meet her, and she had a beautiful gift that I've left up in the other room, but I will take you through. And afterwards, we were talking about the local op shop, and I'd heard that the ladies at the workshop had been visiting because there was some fabric order in there. You know me, it always is about a story, because these stories are going to carry on in my work and in your work. So I went in, and this isn't a haul video at all, but the first thing that Kathy, the lady who works there, said, "Oh, Kate, I've had my eye out for you, and I have some pieces that you might be interested." So she went and picked up a tray of doilies and napkins, and do you know what? They were just perfect for this quilt. And that's what I love most of all to do, is if I get something on the day, I like to use it. So I'm hoping you can see these two beautiful little flowers there. I've harvested them from this doily here. So 4 corners are gone, and what remains are these beautiful vines, leaf to leaf, with little tiny flowers. So I'm going to think about using this on this piece as well. Now, before I go further in my excitement, I just want to say this is probably a stitch along. It's about just sharing the time together and having a giggle. It was beautiful that Linda said she did appreciate giggling alongside of me. So I'll try and keep that up, because it is genuine and authenticate. So I hope you're well, and see, my enthusiasm just covers everything, because this was the other piece that was in this tiny little op shop. And I just thought the colours are meant to be on this day when I want to work on my quilt, to have that piece and that piece into my hands and straight home to love and to cherish and to give new life to. So, and there's some other bits. So here we go. This is, and I know it's very hard to see the whole thing, but I think this is more manageable. I have placed, and nothing is pinned. Well, sorry, everything is pinned and nothing is stitched. But I was just thinking that it is almost like this flower is an extension of this one. And the way to actually get that perfectly right is to probably trim a little bit more of that. Yeah. So that leaf, even though the green is a different color now, blends into here, and out of that blue flower, another blossom blossoms. Does that make sense? And the idea is we are appliquing with the flowers done by others and with mine gradually added in. So now that I've actually trimmed that, I'm going to go like that with that side, and I'm going to leave this one because no, I won't. I have to be a bit symmetrical today. Now this beautiful brownish, there must be a name for that. I don't know what it is, but I thought it was a lovely echo, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. Just let me go here. I'm talking to myself, of course you'd let me go here. So let's have that as a piece there. It's directly, anyway, you know me and symmetry. So before I go up the top and talk to you about that, this is one of the harvests from that piece that only has the purple. I don't tend to use the brown leaves, but if I was doing Roxy's Journal of Stitchery again with the seasons, I'd be using those, so they will stay anyway. So I've added that piece to bottom left hand corner. This is going to be the centerpiece, and here on the bottom right, is that how it goes? Yes, not right down in the bottom, but there. So we'll get them into place. So at the risk of making you dizzy, so let's bring this down. Here's the center doily. I'm doubting more and more that that will become the final piece. And it's only tacked down. I used it as the center line. Because today, also at the same store, this was there. And when I came home, I just put that down over there, and suddenly it was singing a different song to me. It's blues, it's tulle, it's not quite so bold, and next time you see this quilt, it may be that that's gone completely, and something like this, maybe not this piece, maybe there. Okay, but just let's not forget about that for the moment. And then right above is the bluebird of happiness, smiling away with leaves, and I've pinned in place another of the 4 flowers and one over here. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is I'm thrilled because this piece here today speaks to me as like a match, and by putting these florals around, the story and the piece is just filling up one flower at a time. So let's work in a place where you can see the other things that I've been doing. So since I filmed last, I'm sure that's a new piece. I've got a little bit of Fleurs fabric. I may have shown you, oh, that's right, because I was stitching it on Sunday. Yes. So look, just totally regard any of that, but let's just sit down and start some stitching. I'm going to move this one. I like that these leaves are extending it out. Oh, and look, while I'm here, before I sit down, look what was in the window. Not for this piece, but I just have to show you. In the window of the op shop was this 2 tiny doilies and the bigger one, and you know how I love raised pieces. So total treasure. That was meant to be. I actually had it resting on here when my husband came home from work, and he said, that's a bit out there. And I said, no, honey, I was just looking at it. It's not going to go. He knows his eye is being trained. But he thought that was even too out there for me, which it was, in terms of the green onto here. Okay, so let us decide. So remember, my rule is I can't go over this original, but it's growing, that's the original tablecloth, and it's growing all these little tiny pieces on top of it. This is from my mother-in-law's linen cupboard. In fact, probably just a week ago. I've got my favourite variegated pink cotton in at the moment. And I don't know what stitch I really want to do, so I'll just do a combination for the moment. Can you see my hands in this position? Yep. I feel like I'm going to be bold. We're going into the embroidery and we'll do some little running stitches to show that it's being linked to the other flowers. So someone else has done all the beautiful amazing satin stitch. And so that will allow, on this particular one, I want those petals to stand up, be frilly. I did ask Linda how she was finding the weather here in the Highlands, because it's quite cold and it's rainy, and then the sun tries to come out and then it rains again and then it gets foggy. But she said that she was just coming out of the cold New York winter, so that makes it all relative, doesn't it? Okay, now I think I'm going to keep going around this flower. That. And then we will come out under here, because remember there'll be a backing on this, and then it will all be hand quilted as well. And yeah, because they're the same, I'll probably do a different treatment for each of these embroideries. So the eye will look and see that they're related, but the stitching on them, or how they're appliqued, will be different. And some of these leaves may or may not get coloured in. With thread. do feel a little more, what's the right word? I'm feeling restrained as I do that, in the best as I do this. Like, I'm more conscious of each stitch, maybe than on the first quilt. And that just shows both an evolution, a growth, and also a more mindfulness on this one, because it's unified by the one tablecloth, whereas my bigger one had, what did they have? 4 different ones. No, or more. No, yeah, because I had 9 blocks. So this one is more easy to see the pattern. Okay, something that I am enjoying doing is when I put a solo flower in like this, growing it to the garden with some stitchery. And what else did I do the other day that was a lot of fun? Oh, I'm at the top. Oh, of course. So you get dizzy. I get dizzy. How did I get up there? I took you on a whole circle. Okay, so that's the effect. Can you see that stitching there? And I'll anchor the leaves down, obviously, but I don't think I've got green with me right now. So let's have a look at what else is happening. I wanted to have a try at harvesting. See, this is, I don't think I've got any mauve in here, and I think the more colours it uses, it becomes a wilder garden, and really that's what I love. And so that when you look at this piece, you can see that they're all separate flowers. Because that's what I wrote in my message on the first one, that they've been united to form a wild garden that brings joy. I'm hoping to them as well as to me making it, and those of you who are seeing it. The beauty of this is I'm cutting it in the V than it was, but it can easily just be cut in half or into sections. So I'm just going to stand up and let's have a play. So this is the stitchery on it. Tiny. And I could, see, that just came to me then. I could use that down there. Or, so that's why I'm not going to cut it. I can, where do we need some, they're all so different and evolving. I mean, each of the corners. Sorry, I'm very delicate. Just want to look at the bird again, because the bird's sort of this V shape. Now, I think I will cut it, and then I've got the possibilities of, I want to keep this as a little unit. Could even go on my heart pouch. But see, that forms like a little flower in itself. And then I've got a 3 and a 3. So let's just keep zooming by. Yeah, I was about to say I don't know whether they will stay, but it's good not to have the answers. Over here, that's quite cute, because I'm not sure if you can see that this was originally up here, and now I'm growing the garlands in all different ways. Or would it be just as effective? I'm thinking that there was some way I had it that I liked. And they were together before, so let's just as an idea put that there. I think birdie, I like these ideas that these are also trails from the birdie. I put that there. Maybe this one could go. Yep. So I'm going to take away this little sprig. So that we go down to that flower. That's a thought. And I'm thinking about, I'd love some ideas. I think I've seen people colour these in with chain stitch. Is that right? Or thread painting. I have no idea what to do with the inside of the birdie. So if you've done a bird before and have a favourite way, I'd love to hear from you about that. Okay, have I got anything else over here that I wanted? Oh, that's right. I was going to look at the stains. So please, oh, I know. I'm going to do these ones. Stains all around it, which means it's so loved. It was this little blossom that I meant to harvest before. I haven't got any orange flowers yet, so they'll be the next thing that I have a look at and through. Actually, I'm very excited about using this piece. Because I need a little bit of pink over here to balance. I'm looking at this red. It's the only bit that I've got. It's on that cross stitch, and it might end up being thread painted over. This is looking lots of possibilities. Diagonal gate. The challenge for me is these straight lines, because I want to tuck it under something. Nope, it's not right there. So when in doubt, don't. But it doesn't mean that it can't come somewhere down here. Okay, I think you'll probably have to wait to see where that one goes, but it will definitely be on here. And there's the other one, but look at that, slightly different colours. So this one, am I upside down? Yes. Oh no, I'm not. Maybe this, because it's got the red in it. And then remember, it's always the diagonals that I like to use. There's that hot pink there. Okay, I know what I want to do. I'm going to harvest. Use my other sharper scissors. Harvest this little bit. And just take the green. In fact, I can go around there, can't I? I'm going much finer with my cutting, because underneath this piece is this linen that is just so amazing. All right. This gives us, okay, so we've got one down here. If I go up to, can you see that I'm drawn to, oh, I'm drawn to putting it somewhere like this. Now, I've got all sorts of things here, but there's the pin when I need it. So that would be the next steps on the top. And I've got more access to that, and it's also down here like diagonal. So I am really happy with my visit to the little local op shop, and to Kathy and her kindness. It's the beauty of being in a community, and you know, her just saying, oh, we might have something that you might like. So there we are, all sorts of ideas swirling. I'm going to leave that like that for me to ponder when next I walk into my nest, because I find, I'm not sure about you, or what have I done there, if I go away and then I come back in and unfold it all, I'll see much better what I was working on. So for now, my friends, thank you so much for spending time with me. Take care, keep stitching and making and being kind to yourself, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.